It is Kanisha, the beauty CPA here, and this is the March Tax Town Hall. I am so excited to be here because I feel like it's been a while. It really ain't even been that long. It's been like last time I went live was like March the 2nd, which is a Tuesday. And I like to go live on Tuesdays because I kind of like Tax Tip Tuesday or Taxing Tuesday, like a play on words, trying to be clever and all. But this week I decided to push it to Saturday to see if that would accommodate some of y'all's schedule better. It's super hard to do though, right? Because I have to keep in mind my West Coasters. It's super early over there right now, but then you got the East Coast. They've probably been working for a couple hours already. So it's really, really difficult. But we'll see how the Saturday mornings work out. So I'm actually kind of glad though I waited later in the week because I know some of you have heard, I've been getting questions about that new tax bill that Biden just signed. He signed it like, was it yesterday or Thursday? One in the last couple of days. This is like new, like hot off the, tax news press, right? Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get into all of that. I'm gonna go over the new tax bill, the relevant parts that was just signed, and then I'm gonna go over some questions that I've received in the days prior leading up to this, and some of the things I've been seeing since I've been preparing tax returns so far. So let me give a proper introduction. I am Kanisha Coleman, the beauty CPA. I own a tax firm which is Coleman Tax. We exclusively serve beauty entrepreneurs. Our main mission and goal is to put you in a position where you're saving taxes. Okay, we want to put you where you're paying the least amount of taxes legally possible. That's my overarching goal. We do provide a full suite of tax services, and then you can also add on bookkeeping and payroll as well if that's something that you and your beauty business need. So this is, guys, this is like, I want y'all to get used to this look. I'm in tax soup season, super busy, kind of tired, but still happy, not complaining, scruffy look. Okay, this is like boho chic right here. Get used to this for the next like 4 to 6 weeks or so, because while I am in the mix of everything, the mix of tax season, to be honest with you, I want to keep showing up, and that may be kind of impromptu. I'm not gonna go waste time putting on makeup, lashes, get dolled up. I'll do it sometimes, but typically if it's impromptu like this because this new tax bill was signed, I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna just show up for y'all, and I hope that y'all have me however way I come. Okay. So today I'm gonna touch on the American Rescue Plan. That's the new tax bill that just signed. And then I'm going to go over some questions. Hey guys, I want to remind y'all, this is a reminder for all of my S corporations and my partnerships listening out there. We are approaching the first tax deadline of the tax season, which is Monday, March the 15th. S corporations, your Form 1120S is due, and partnerships, your Form 1065 is due. Either the return is due or the extension is due. I highly suggest all of y'all extend. Even if you fully intend on making that deadline, still just get in the habit of when tax season starts, just extend. It's free, it's quick. And then if something happens that prohibits you from meeting the deadline, you're covered because you filed an extension. So let's just get from here on out every year, file an extension. Even if you make the deadline, let's just make it a habit of filing extensions just in case. You just never know when life happens. So remember, guys, Monday, S corporation partnerships, that's your due date. Your first due date is on Monday. File that return or file that extension. Okay. Remember, I made a post about this a couple weeks ago. Not filing the return is worse than not paying the tax. You don't file the return, IRS gonna think you're trying to evade taxes, like you ain't trying to like share the money you've been making all year. So file that tax return. In no situation, Don't ever not file the tax return, okay? So again, I'm gonna repeat that. Monday, March 15th, S corporations and partnerships. That is your first. This is the first tax due date of the tax season. C corporations and individuals, y'all right around the corner. That time gonna fly. 4 weeks. April 15th is your due date. File that return. File that extension. Remember, an extension to file is not an extension to pay. If you have not made your appointment to meet with me and to chat about prepping your tax return, the time is now to do that. If you have not made arrangements for how your return is going to be prepared, now is the time to do that. Go ahead and hit that link in my bio. Schedule your 15 minutes. That's all it's going to take. It's going to be brief. I'll be able to give you an accurate quote of what the investment that will be required of you for me to prepare your tax return. But the time is now to do it. If you wait much, much longer, it may be harder to find someone to, get you in and to prepare it in a reasonable amount of time. So let's not wait any longer. Let's make those arrangements now. Hit that link in my bio. Schedule your quick 15-minute call. I can give you a quote right away. And you'll have everything you need if you want to move forward with me preparing your tax return. So let's get into that new tax bill. All right. They are calling it the American Rescue Plan. Y'all ever think, like, how do they come up with the names? How do they come up with the names of these tax bills? ARP, the American Rescue Plan. Okay. Or TARP, the American Rescue. I don't know. But it's called the American Rescue Plan. It's what Biden just signed. It was like $1.9 trillion, guys. $1.9 trillion is how much this tax bill costs. Okay, so let's get into some highlights. This right here is my favorite. This is my favorite highlight just because I've been experiencing it so far in preparing tax returns this tax season and having to ask a lot of questions about it. One of my number one questions this tax season was, do I have to pay tax on my unemployment? I received unemployment during 2020 because of the pandemic. Do I got to pay tax on that? The answer before last week was yes. Yes, in general, you got to pay tax on it, right? But this new tax bill has changed the game, y'all. So now you can exempt $10,200 of the unemployment benefits you received in 2020. Now $10,200 of that is tax exempt. Do not have to pay taxes on it. So even if you look at your 1099-G, that's the tax form you would have gotten to show your unemployment benefits. Even if you got it and you chose to have them withhold it, while they were paying it to you in 2020, now you get that money back. Now you can get that money back. For me, that's one of the biggest highlights in this whole bill here. There's a couple other I'll talk about, but the biggest one is that you can now exclude $10,200 of unemployment benefits from being taxed, which is a huge game changer. Now, guys, I've gotten questions in my DMs and in my email about, okay. I've already I've already filed my tax return. What do I do now? Because they're trying to get, the tax back. You have to amend your tax return. If you don't amend, they're not going to come to you and be like, okay, here go your taxes back that you paid. You have to amend your tax return. Now, let's talk about the timing on that. You cannot go amend right now. You cannot go amend right away. This bill was just passed in the last 48 hours, which means that now it has to go to the IRS to issue guidance, right? Issue guidance on how this new tax law will be implemented. Then after the IRS issues guidance, they got to think about it, write it, issue it. Then the guidance goes to the tax prep companies and the tax prep software. And then all the technology has to be updated so that when we prepare your taxes, the software will know how to handle the unemployment income and to exclude 10,200. So do not, if you've gotten your tax return prepared already, your tax professional is aware. I'm telling you, so now you're aware. So now you can go and have that conversation with your tax professional, and you can kind of get a timeline on when they think this amendment can take place. Now, let me forewarn you, they ain't gonna do it for free. I'll be very surprised if they did it for free. And I'm just putting that out there so you're not like taken back by it all. But you may be charged a little amendment fee, maybe. But have the conversation with your tax professional, get a timeline on when they think they'll be able to do the amendment. My tax software that I use, they sent out emails to us yesterday saying, hey, we know about the change. We're just waiting on the IRS guidance. As soon as we get it, we're going to be updating the software. So I'm already kind of like on watch for updates to my tax software for my clientele. Do the same for whoever prepared your return. But this is a big deal, guys. This is a game changer. Let me put it out there. This is for incomes below 150K. If you made over 150K, you may not be able to benefit from this. Sorry. You know how this goes. This is all income driven. Most things are income driven when it comes to tax. But this is for incomes below $150,000. Let's move on. There is two other things I want to touch on. The bill also increased the total number of weeks you can get federal unemployment benefits. So they've extended it. I believe it was supposed to end tomorrow, the 14th. Those federal unemployment benefits were supposed to end tomorrow. They've extended it now until September. You can continue getting $300 a week if you cannot return to work because of the pandemic. So that's awesome as well. And that's for 2021. Okay. That doesn't really have an effect on 2020 taxes. That's for 2021. And then my last favorite thing is the expanded child tax credit. Okay. So for those of you who have children, let's talk about it. Children are expensive. Okay. They're expensive. However, the new tax bill has expanded the child tax credit. If you have a child under 6 years old, you can get child tax credit of $3,600. And then if you have children over 6, it's $3,000. Here's the game changer, y'all. The game changer is this credit is fully refundable. That's different because the one before the change, only $1,400 was refundable. I believe that this credit is fully refundable, and you don't have to wait till tax time to get it. You can get this paid out monthly. Throughout 2021. Now they're hoping to have this all ready and started to send out monthly stipends by July. Don't hold your breath though, okay? These payments are going to be sent through the IRS, and we all know how long it could take, the IRS to do things. But they're hoping to start it by July. But this is a game changer. You can get monthly stipends for your children throughout 2021 with the expanded tax credit. $3,600 for under 6, $3,000 for over 6. No income limit. No income limit. So that's awesome as well. I'm going to get into the questions portion of this, guys. I don't really like to keep y'all long. I'm hoping to only go maybe another 10 or 15 minutes or so. But if you have any questions, now is the time to drop them in the comments. Now is the time to drop in the comments. Do not wait. I do have some questions already that I'm going to go through. But if you have comments, go ahead and drop them, okay? So my first question that I received is, when should I become an S Corp? Now, this is like all the rage, right? Everyone wants to know, when can I become an S Corp so I won't have to pay self-employment tax? Let me be clear. When you become an S Corp and you put yourself on payroll, which you are required, in general, you're required to do as an S corporation, you're still going to pay payroll tax. Payroll tax is going to be at half the rate of self-employment tax. Your corporation is going to pay the other half for you. But you're still going to pay some payroll tax. You're not like getting off sky-free by becoming an S Corp. But it does help. So when is that magic number? My suggestion is I want you to start watching your net profit at around the $30,000 mark. What do I mean by net profit? When I say net profit, I mean all the money you make, so all your revenue, minus all of your business expenses. That's your bottom line or your net profit. When that number reaches around 30K, I want you to start thinking about running the numbers to see, okay, which entity type yields me the lowest tax bill. I say run the numbers because it's really hard to say in general when a company to switch from being an LLC and make the tax election to be taxed as an S Corp. But usually you want to start running numbers and looking at the potential tax bill around $30,000 in net profit. If you don't have that yet, you're good. I don't suggest it. Don't switch too early. The reason I say don't switch too early is because anything you save before that 30K mark, you may end up spending to maintain the S corporation itself. Maintaining the S corporation itself isn't a cheap thing. When you think about having a payroll service provider, putting yourself on payroll, paying the payroll service provider, filing someone to prepare and file the payroll tax returns quarterly and annually, paying for a separate S corporation tax return, all of that adds up, right? And it may be what you would save in tax. So at the end of the day, it will be a wash. What you save is what you'll spend on maintaining the S corp. So that's the disadvantage if you switch too early. So that's why I give like a 30K mark. That's not a definitive mark. That's not set in stone. Like you hit 30K, make the switch. When you hit 30K, run those numbers. Usually that happens between 30 and 40K. Okay, so that's the answer to that question. Should I be an LLC or have an EIN? My answer to both of those is yes and yes. Because we're in the beauty industry, and so you're providing product or service to the public. Anybody, for any reason, can come back and say your service did something to them, or your product did something to them, and want to bring litigation to you. Because of that risk, I want y'all to protect yourself. And have the LLC to protect your personal assets. So if they do sue you, they can only go after your business assets. They cannot even think about the personal assets with the LLC in general, okay? Now, I know some people say, well, what about business insurance? Business insurance will reimburse you for loss, of your personal things. But why even go there? Why even have the personal things on the table? The LLC prohibits the personal items from even being on the table, okay? So have both. Have business insurance, have LLC. I know a lot of people don't like that because they don't want to pay the LLC fees. And I agree. It sucks, but it's a cost of business. It is what it is. Simple as that. I do say this though, for my startups, don't get the LLC until you know you're about to start business, right? Don't get it prematurely so that you're paying fees and you're not even in business and earning money. So hold off as long as you can. Get the LLC when you actually are providing the service, selling the product, and you're going to be doing it rather quickly. Okay. Have an EIN. Absolutely. The EIN is like the SSN for your business. You have a social security number, right? So if you have a social security number, give your business one. The EIN is like the social security number, but for your business. So yes, get an EIN. It's free. It's easy to apply for. You can do that in about 5 or 10 minutes online, and you get it right away. So go ahead and get the EIN. Bookkeeping, what do you recommend for a bookkeeping system recommendation? I exclusively use QuickBooks in my firm. I like QuickBooks. I'm not saying something is wrong with the others like Xero, Xero, or Wave or FreshBooks. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they do the same stuff. I just go with QuickBooks. I like QuickBooks because they are number one in their field. Number two, they have several levels that you can invest in for your business. So they got something for the starter. I think it's like $15-$20 a month, and then it goes all the way up from there based on your business needs. They also have a tax product counterpart, which can be helpful for some beginners if you're choosing to go that DIY route at first. You can use QuickBooks for your bookkeeping, convert those books over into a tax return fairly easy because they have a sister tax product. And so that's always great as well. So that's why I like QuickBooks, but that's my recommendation is QuickBooks. Okay, so I actually got this question. What are financial statements? Now, sometimes when I'm talking to y'all, I assume that everybody is like been around for forever, just, slipping my mind that we do have some like new beauty graduates or new startups here. Financial statements this is going to be your income statement. You'll probably hear me say it as P&L or profit and loss. So the income statement, that shows you all the money you've earned in your business and all of your business expenses. Okay. All the money in, all the money out. That's what the income statement or profit and loss P&L shows you. Then you have the balance sheet, and the balance sheet is going to show you the overall worth of your company. It's going to list all of your assets, so everything you own, all of your liabilities, everything you owe, right? And the difference is going to be your equity. So the true worth of your business. And then the cash flow, that's going to show you money in and money out coming from 7 different areas of the business. And together, all 3 of these is the complete financial statement package. The one you guys are going to likely use the most is going to be the profit and loss. And I say that because right now, cash flow is very important. Cash flow is very important. And so that's what the profit and loss is telling you. It's going to tell you all your sources of revenue. It'll even break it down by types of revenue. It's going to show all the money that's flowing out of your business. It's going to show you how profitable your service and product is, and that how profitable your overall business is, which is that overhead component, which is very important, because you could have a very profitable product or service, but your overhead expenses may be too high and may make you end up, realizing a loss at the end of the month or the year. And so financial statements are very important. Understand, you cannot get to financial statements if you do not do bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is the prerequisite to financial statements. And I'm sure all of you have experienced in this pandemic year, like you have certain COVID relief programs like PPP loans and EIDL loans and certain grants, free money. They all, not one of them did not ask for either a tax return or a financial statement. Understand that the tax return is based off of the financial statement. And all of that is based off bookkeeping. So if you're not doing bookkeeping, start like today. Start today. Start today, even if it's very small. Start today, which rolls into my next question. It talks about bookkeeping. So someone asked me, well, I have this bookkeeping system. I have a bookkeeping system. Not bookkeeping system. They have a booking system like Gloss Genius, StyleSeat, Figaro, those things, right? And they track revenue, because I know that people can pay you to book with you through those systems. Is that good enough for bookkeeping? Absolutely not. Please understand, folks, your booking system is not bookkeeping. It is not bookkeeping. First of all, those systems, most of them do not track expenses. Most of them do not track expenses, all of your expenses. Even if they did, They do not produce financial statements. And you need to be able to produce and see a financial statement to understand the financial health of your business. You need to produce a financial statement to apply for capital, for loan, for grants. You need a financial statement to prepare a tax return. So do not do I would I never recommend, I will never recommend, and I will always say there is a difference between your booking system and a bookkeeping system. You do not use your booking system as your bookkeeping system. They serve two different purposes. Even though your booking system may have the capability of tracking numbers, that is not their sole purpose. And they cannot give you the financial data you need to grow, scale, and understand the financial health of your business. So do not replace one for the other. Have both. Have both. Okay. And so my last question here is about bookkeeping again. So the question was, I have a business bank account and I only use this account for my business transactions. Can I use that as my bookkeeping system? My answer to that is no, absolutely not. When you think of the average bank statement, that bank statement is giving you no information. It's telling you the date you spent the money, the vendor. Even the vendor description is a little skewed and weird. It's a weird description. It's not like clear as day training or professional development or job supplies. It's like some weird cryptic description that, your bank downloaded from the vendor electronically. It's not sufficient to tell you, you know, the business purpose of each transaction. Even if it did, it doesn't consolidate the data. So you have bank statements just full of line items. When you get to the financial statement or the tax return, it consolidates all of those line items into a total for each expense or revenue category. The bank statement doesn't do that. So you may be able to look at your bank statement and say, oh, I see money there, so I'm doing good. No, because you don't know kind of like what's en route, what's in transit to eat up that money. Okay. And it doesn't tell you where you stand as far as how much you have spent and where. It's not enough just to know how much money you have. You got to know, where is that money coming from? What is the biggest revenue driver in your business? Or you want to know, what is the biggest expense in your business? What is your overhead expenses? What level is that? What is your gross profit, your net profit? Just having a business bank account, those statements, they don't tell you any of that. It's just data at that point. You got to put that data in a system and let the system consolidate the numbers for you to be able to tell you the story behind the numbers. Business bank accounts, booking systems, they just do not do that. They're insufficient in that area. And that's okay, because they wasn't meant to do that. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that answered the question on when we're talking about business bank account statements versus the bookkeeping system. Just, if you take nothing else away, take this: the business bank account statements and the booking apps, they are not bookkeeping. You guys still have to implement a bookkeeping system in your business. I really would love to hear from you all, kind of, if not in the comments right now, maybe, on another session or a post, like, what's your biggest thing against bookkeeping? Like, I hear a lot of conversation around, well, can't I just use the bookkeeping app, or can't I just use my bank statements, or how come I can't just, count on my fingers? What is your biggest opposition to bookkeeping? If you're not, doing it yourself, then hire it out, outsource it. But even with those two things, either doing it yourself or outsourcing it, what's your biggest oppositions to that? Like, why are you so resistant to bookkeeping? That's what I want to know. Why are you so resistant to bookkeeping as a function in your business? either if you're doing it yourself or not. Like, y'all just not y'all, and this is not specific to beautypreneurs. This is small business, period. They are just like anti bookkeeping. Y'all let me know, because then that would help me into knowing like how I can better serve you, either a done for you service or maybe putting out something to help you understand and teach DIY it better. I would love to hear from you guys, your perspective on bookkeeping. What's the, if you don't do it, like what's your opposition to it? So yeah, that is all the questions. I don't see any questions on Instagram. I don't see any on Facebook. I have answered all the questions I got from others. I'm going to end it here. I won't keep you much longer. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to continue to bring you updates as I learn new developments about the American Rescue Plan. That's the new tax bill that was signed. And I'll let you know, like, when my software is updated and I'm doing my amended returns, I'll put it out there like, hey, check if you amended, if you filed with someone else, I'll put it out there like, hey, I think it's ready, see if you can amend, so you can get that $10,200 unemployment exemption. That's a game changer. I was very happy about that. But yeah, I'm going to let you guys go. If you have any questions, you know how to find me, and I will talk to you soon. Okay. Bye for now.